Several years ago, there was a movie entitled The Blob, where this big, gooey, gelatinous ball of goo rolled across the countryside, and it just engrossed everything that it came along in its path. It would just consume it. I had my own experience with the Blob, coming up today on Body Slams. There was this group of people, and as this time of year comes around, every year I really have a hard time with this. A group of people that I considered to be friends, that I really loved, that had an issue with me, and they began to try to conspire underground in darkness to get me away, get me out of the church that I was in. So what they did is they began to take pot shots at my character. They were trying to inflate the image of who they were by taking my character and killing my character, consuming it, turning it into something that it was not. And you can go back and watch a previous podcast called The Beautiful People, where I go into detail about that. But I want you to hear what I'm about to say. And I've tried to film this podcast probably in excess of 10 times, because I have a hard time going from the selfishness of how could they do this to me to where I'm trying to get with in the point of this podcast. First of all, whenever I think about that situation, it makes me very angry. How could these people do this to me? How could they say the things to me that they said? How could they say the things about me behind my back and in secret that they said? How could they go to other folks and turn this whole issue into what it became? But here is where I want to go with the podcast. It's not about me. I want you to hear this, and this is something I think really means a great deal to me. In the end, I must decrease so that he can increase. What that means is I have to take off all of these blankets and all of these weights of pain and hurt, and there comes a point in time when I have to get over it and let that go. And I have to take all of that and I have to put on his excellence. You know, I've got this cool outfit that I've been putting on for my podcast lately, and part of it is this coat. I love this coat, and as I put this on, it just makes me feel kind of dapper. You know what I'm saying? Makes me feel kind of cool. But in the way that I put this on, and I feel different when I put it on, when we put Christ on, when we put him on in our life, then he is the one that people look at, not ourselves. Is it still me? Of course. My character is a part of what I portray as I live and walk and breathe in this world. But I want to put on Jesus. And the thing is that's so funny about what happened 8 years ago this time of the year is the fact that no matter how hard other people tried to bring me down, no matter how hard they tried to hurt me, the bottom line, I don't want anyone to look at me anyway. I want them to look at Jesus. I want them to see him. And when people check me out, I don't want them to look at me and say, you know, check that guy out. You know, he's a cool guy, or check him out. He's a crazy guy. He looks funny. I want people to look at me and check out Jesus. And if that means that other people have to put me down to make themselves feel better, and in the long run, Jesus is the one that is glorified, then that's fine. I want Jesus to be glorified in my life. I want him to be the finishing touch. I want him to be the one that people look at me and they go, wow, I see Jesus in his life. That's what I want. And it took me going through all the things that I went through. It took me going through the pain and the hurt and the heartache to realize that it's not about me anyway. It's about him. And it's about the image that I portray of him to the world around me. Is my image unique? Yes. Am I different? Sure. Am I individual? Of course. But at the end of the day, what matters is Christ. He is what matters. And there's no idiosyncrasies. There's no pain. There's no false rumors, there's no lies, there's no group of people or pretend friends that can ever do anything to hurt my Jesus. They can kill me, But in the end, my Jesus is victorious. And he's real. And he's true. So, it's not about me. It's not about what they tried to do to me, because all they did is make him shine that much brighter. That's what it's about. And I'm going to turn around. I'm going to shine that to everyone else around me. I'm going to give them heaven.